Welcome back to the Follow Project. I'm Pastor Chris Solak. Again, thank you so much for all the support and love that comes through the channel and just the dialogue. Personal shout out to my good friend in Kenya, Pastor Ola, and his support of the channel as well. Again, guys, you can always find out more information about us at thefollowproject.com. You can sign up for our newsletter there. And of course, you can also find out about all of our small group materials at thefollowproject.com/books. So we appreciate though all the likes, all the subscribes, all the comments as well. Helps us spread the gospel around the globe. So once again, we just appreciate all your support. For the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about the fear of God. And I think this is one of those topics that we don't talk about enough because we actually are scared of the word fear so often. And that's not really what we're talking about when we talk about the fear of God. The fear of God is a celestial and eternal perspective in a temporal fallen world. And I'm going to tell you, if there's one thing that is tremendously absent from the global church, but especially the Western church, it is a profound fear of God. That if we had a true, profound fear for who God is, what he's truly capable of, and what he carries, not just in the weight of this existence, but as far as an eternal existence, and that we truly took him seriously, not just from the standpoint of his love, but the standpoint of his dominion, his authority, what he's truly capable of doing, that we would have a very different perspective of him, and everyone would carry a healthy fear of God, a reverential respect for who he is, not just what he's capable of doing, but the fact that he loves us, that he desires us, but that he's also that he is the final say in all things, and that the truth is found in him. It can't be separated from him, and that he sees, knows, and understands all that is good and pure, and that with that, beyond him, there is nothing else. And so, unfortunately, we live in a culture in a time that exalts self-understanding, self-comprehension. You know, a lot of people want to give their opinion as to how they think God should judge people, how God should think, how he should react, how he should be. The truth is that all of us are from a fallen, broken environment, that we've all fallen short of the glory of God. And by that very statement, we have no say. That we've all sinned and we've offended God, we've hurt and offended others, and by that, we have nullified our ability to be an expert about a righteous, holy, pure, loving God. Like we don't actually have any context for what it really means to understand this being. Yet he has sent his son. He continues to speak through those who are open to him so that we might actually have a glimpse and an understanding as to not only his nature, but his desire to ransom us despite our offense that we have created in relationship to him. And that he focuses on the very nature of us rather than his own righteousness, his own holiness, which would divide him from us. I just want to give a quick definition of what is it, the fear of God, from a religious context. I just say that by religious definition, and it is to say that Christianity and Judaism generally refers to a deep sense of respect, awe, and reverence for God, rather than a feeling of terror, and it involves acknowledging God's power, authority, and holiness, and living one's life in accordance with his will and teachings. This fear is often associated with humility, obedience, and a desire to please God. And it's just important that we have this context for what does this terminology mean? And so why humility? Why obedience? Why an openness to move into his presence? Because there's an awareness of who he is, his goodness, and then also his power. And so it's truthfully the ability to remove us from the creation at a snap of his fingers. But instead of doing that out of offense, he sent his one and only son to die for us, to take our punishment upon him, that he would be the intercessor, that God actually sent a part of himself as an intercessor for us, that his wrath, his own wrath, would be poured out in such a way that you and I, we would be exempt from what we truly deserved. And so because of that, there should be this great love and desire and respect for not only God's desire and love for us, but the fact that it's a recognition of who he is and what he truly created us for, which was relationship. Proverbs 9:10 through 12 says it this way: the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by wisdom your days will be many, and your years will be added to your life. If you are wise for your own benefit. If you mock, you alone will bear the consequences. This is such a profound verse, and of course, anything out of Proverbs is greatly profound. Solomon has this great understanding of who God is, and he has it from a point of wisdom. He abandons his own advice, his own acknowledgments later in his life, which is truly the sad and cautionary explanation when examining Solomon. Yet the consequence of mocking God, and how do we mock God? By refusing God. This is where I come back to this idea that we get to tell God how it works. We get to explain to God how we think from a fallen reality he should do things from a righteous, holy, and unblemished place. We don't have the standing to speak to God. We are the lesser being. He is the greater being of love, greater being of knowledge, greater being of wisdom, and greater being of righteousness. And so he's making himself fully available to us if we will simply open ourselves to who he is and show him the respect and awe that he deserves. I don't know about you, but I've met some truly incredible people in my life. Their sacrifice, their life experience, their desire for other people and putting people above themselves created for me, as I encountered them and did ministry with them, a respect and an awe for several of the people that I've worked with. And it wasn't something that I had to think about. It was reactionary to the evidence of their work. And the evidence of their work reflected the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that when we truly encounter God as he is, we owe him that awe, that love, that respect, that true fear that comes from the realization of who he is, his desire, and how he's actually intervening, intercessing, and overcoming, which creates an obligation on our end for those who want goodness in their life, that they would actually accept him, be open to him, and move in relationship to him. My point for this message is that the awe, respect, and fear of God is our point of openness. Those who remain close to the things of God will reap the consequences. It's dangerous. It is dangerous for us to refuse goodness, holiness, and righteousness when it knocks on our door, looks us in the eye, and says, I love you. Till next time, be blessed.